World Club Challenge taking the field. The Warrington Wolves led out by standing skipper Paul Hume, and back in the team John Roper. Run through the sides this evening. Start with the Leeds Rhinos at full back, wearing number 1 Marcus St-Hilaire. The three-quarters Paul Sterling, who'll equal the Super League record tonight if he scores a try. It'll be 9 consecutive games he scored tries. New Zealand international Richie Blackmore's at right centre. Phil Hassan, Francis Cummings, and the man with a mission tonight wears number 13 for Leeds Rhinos. Yestin Harris, former Warrington player, went all the way through the academy. See the fireworks going off, and see the fireworks going off as well. Went all the way through the academy of the Alliance, made the first team, the Stone Super League Young Player of the Year, did everything and was transferred here at the end of April. £350,000, 10 games ago, scored in every game. He's a man with a mission tonight to score points and basically make his presence felt to the Warrington directors, who he thought possibly should have done more to keep him at Wilderspool. Ryan Sheridan will wear 7 at scrum half. In the pack, Martin Misella, recently turned a disc jockey. Wayne Collins at hooker, Barry McDermott, the big prop, close side prop. The second row making his debut, Andy Hall. Anthony Powell's with him in the second row, and loose forward Terry Newton. Substitutes for the Rhinos, Graham Holroyd, he's useful to be on as a substitute, and kick goals as well. Adam Hughes, Jamie Matthew, big forward he is. And also, international forward Adrian Morley's on the bench as well, wearing number 11. The Warrington Wolves, Lee Penny, Paul Wingfield, John Roper, Nigel Vergana, Mark Forster, Kelly Shelford passed the late fitness test, Lee Breers, Warren Stevens, Chris Hyton plays at hooker, wears number 36, Gary Chambers, thankfully for the Wolves, he's passed the fitness test as well. George Mann and Tony Tsupu make up the second row, and Paul Hume, the standing skipper, is at loose forward. Substitutes for the Wolves, Tony Thornley, Sean Garaitis, Willie Swan, back in the camp for the first time since the opening game at Odsall, when he was unceremoniously dropped and told to find another club. He hasn't played since, played in the Alliance on Thursday evening, and is back as one of the substitutes tonight. Liam Brereton is the fourth of the Wolves' 4 subs. Match referee this evening for Wigan, John Conley. I was talking to John before the kick-off. Loves coming down here because he knows the Leeds fans love him so much. Lee Breers there sporting a new haircut. It's Warrington who will kick off towards the electronic scoreboard side of the ground, kicking from right to left in this game. There's insufficient sand for Lee Breers to kick off this game. Sadly tonight for the Wolves, Paul Sculthorpe missing. I believe he has a combination between a bad wrist injury and also a chest injury as well. Breers kicks off into the night sun. Collected by debutant Andy Hall. That's for Sterling, I say. He's a man with a mission tonight, trying to equal Paul Newlove's try scoring records of 9 consecutive games scoring tries. Second highest scoring Super League as well. That was a break there for Martin Masala. John Roper, eager with a point of proof. Requested a transfer the other day. Daniel van der Velde asked him to think about it over the next few days, and then said if he still wants to go, he won't stand in his way. So he's got a point to prove tonight. Warrington penalised, holding down on the tackle against McDermott. First penalty of the evening. It's in the more than capable hands of Yestin Harris, who'll kick the touch. Spoke to Yestin before the kick-off. If ever a man was focused on a game of rugby league, he is tonight. Warrington closing up on the tackle. Good offload there to Hilaire. Brought down by Mark Forster. Behind his old years of 33 years of age and playing very well indeed at the moment is Mark. Going to bring a lot of these youngsters through. There's Gary Chambers making the tackle. Yestin Harris. It's to Phil Hassan. Wigan born and bred. Been playing so well this season. That was a good tackle by the Warrington Wolves. Combination of Chris Hyton and Gary Chambers. On the 5th tackle, signalled by the referee John Conley. As Yestin Harris puts up the bomb. Referee John Conley wasn't happy, awarded the penalty to the Wolves. The pressure's on. So Warrington going to this side. Just checking the statistics before the kick-off. 6 of last year's regulars are in the team, 7 are missing. One of those, of course, Yestin Harris, has been transferred. Gary Chambers All the workload has been on Gary's shoulders this season. No wonder he's carrying injuries. Warren Stevens wrapped up completely, and Richie Blackmore came in to stop him on the offload. It's Nigel Vagana, leading try scorer in Rugby League. Referee John Conley awards a scrum. Leeds Rhinos to put in. Vagana, very much an individual player. Not got a lot of pace. Jinks his way away from the tackles. On that occasion he didn't. Leeds Rhinos feed the scrum. Away with it comes Andy Hall. He's tackled by Paul Hume. Sporting at the moment a Skull Cap. Doesn't usually play the full game with it on Paul. So he starts to get hot. He told me he throws it away. Andy Hay again. Eager to improve. They're all off to Australia on Monday, these lads. All the Leeds Rhinos lads are ready for their games in the World Club Challenge. Farrell. Harris. Great pass out wide. Francis Cummins. Brought down by the Ulster Paul Wingfield. Good tackle, Hassan Harris. He's on to Sheridan. Sheridan trying to go it alone. Hand over, Lee Penny. Wingfield played well so far as Paul. 4 tries with 1 goal. Only 18 years old, the Alliance Player of the Year last year. John Roper wasn't awake in that pass then. Wasn't particularly happy about it either. Pauline tries to rescue the situation. Referee Connolly would scrum. With the Leeds put in and the pressure really is on the Warrington Wolves. Leeds the only team to have to play Bradford twice yet. That's going to happen for the first time at the end of June and the middle of August as well. Right after the World Cup Challenge. Yeah, probably on his side now, the Rhinos, who can stop the Bulls walking away with it. Number 3, Blackmore. Throws it to Hilaire. Hilaire nearly shakes off a tackle by Penny. Wrapped up completely by Vagana to Tupu in as well, in case he needs any help. Blackmore's ready to set it all off again. Harris throws one of his long spinning passes out. That to Sheridan, to Farrell. Well there. Wingfield trying to come away from the ball. Leeds ever eager to pin Warrington back. Warrington pinned back in their own 20 metres, playing all these tackles out. Needs a breakaway. Tony Tutupu, silly pass. And I think it was about the 3rd tackle there. Blackmore intercepted it. This is Sterling. Roper and Hume. John locking it up quicker than that, otherwise he's going to be penalised. Wayne Coleman at dummy half. Goes to Sheridan. To Harris again, involved in every move. Hassan breaks clear of the cover. And unselfishly sends the ball in. For Francis Cummins to score the first try of the evening for the Leeds Rhinos. At 5 minutes on the clock, the writing was on the wall really for the Wolves. They couldn't get out of their own 20-metre zone. Harris set it up, spinning pass. And Hassan, I say unselfishly, sent Cummins in for the try. The Warrington players regrouped to discuss what went wrong. It went wrong on this side of the field with Tony Tutupu sillily trying to offload. Great future in the game as yesterday. It was a very sad day for Warrington when he actually did sign on the dotted line. Came back as a substitute against the Sheffield Leaders in the cup tie. Then played the whole of the game against the Salford Reds in the quarter-final of the cup. And then pulled out of the Bradford Bulls game with a thigh injury. The rest of his history is now a Rhinos asset, or what asset he is. He wants this one to go between the posts. And he gets his wish as well. His first 2 points of the evening. Will it be the last? I don't think so. Be interested here to see if Leeds Rhinos from the restart kick deep and race up to peg Warrington in their own 20-metre zone again. They really were struggling to make any progress at all. The only progress that's been made was through Vagana. That kick deep, very deep indeed. And up. It's Warren Stevens, who belies his young 18 years, and the hair coming in a bit late there. Obviously the touch judge said something as well. This is Vagana. Lee Penny. Getting something back to his full fitness now is Lee. Bad injury against the Oldham Bears. Pretty high on George Mann. There's a big lad is George, he won't suffer for too long. Just to Tupu again. He's lost the ball. Penalty awarded by referee John Connolly. His eyes focused on his touch. He did an interview with John during the week for Rugby Magazine, and he was saying the eye contact between the touch judges these days is so important. And obviously used it there. Lee Breeze kicking for touch, wanting to get the chance of playing a set of 6 out. 40 metres from the line. If they're going to do anything, they've got to get back into this game quickly. Gary Chambers. Looking for support, he wasn't there. Plays it to his hooker, Heighton. There's Warren Stevens. And again, eager to get on with it. Change of direction. This is where Shelford's dangerous, and he's been at his most dangerous this season. But Dermot picked up a knock on that tackle. Heighton. And desperately to shake off. Shelford. To Breers. This is interesting. Breers tried to offload. Cleverly Farrell came around the side and stopped him offloading to George Mann. Paul Goon desperately trying to get through there. Didn't work on that occasion. It's a handover. Second handover of the game. We don't see many of those in rugby league these days. Usually kick on the 5th tackle. We've seen 2 within the first 10 minutes of this game. Sterling. Tremendous break down the field here for the Rhinos. Passed inside. And well tackled indeed. It was Lee Penny who made the tackle on Sheridan. Hilaire comes away. Tries to find his way through. Looking for support. There wasn't anything really there. Wayne Collins was holding back for some reason. Obviously waiting for his rest of his teammates to come up. This is Harris. It was interesting that Leeds were looking for the option of the drop goal. That's McDermott charges through. And that's been the problem with the Warrington Wolves all season. Quite simply, he cut his way through there, and there was just nobody to stop him at all. 10 points down, with a kick to come. Harris there, set the move up. Been involved in both so far. McDermott there, went through totally unchallenged. He's a big lad. The prop forwards though for Warrington Wolves, trying to make all the headway going forward. Again, no support at all at the moment. Still looking at yesterday, he's looking fitter now than he has done for a long time. He's ready for Australia on Monday as well. 10 points to 0 with a kick to come. That's true as well. 2 from 2 for Yeston. 12 points to 0 for the Leeds Rhinos. Just looking at the, I appreciate only 10 minutes have gone in this game. Just looking at the bench for Warrington tonight. Willie Swan can double up as a hooker and also play scrum half. Sean Garaitis, young academy prop forward. Tony Thornell, loan for Widnes. He plays at one of the backs, and Liam Bretherton. We get about half a minute of the game at London Broncos last Friday. Was left out on Monday. He's back as one of the substitutes tonight. Into the night sun, taken cleanly by Breers onto Chambers. Chambers makes valuable ground. It's Mark Forster to play the ball. Mark wants to run with it. Sadly, Martin Masella He's in the way for him. That's George Mann getting encouragement from the bench. It's Vergana, that's where he's most dangerous and most potent. Paul Hughes. Back to Kelly Shelford. To Tupu. Breers. John Roper. Not hit anything like true form yet this season as John. He's given the extra responsibility of goal kicking. Big up and under from Lee Breers. Well taken indeed by the fullback Hilaire. Tackled in his own goal post. Vergana tackles him. Breers and Stevens come in. And Vergana did a good job. Got up a bit gingerly after that. Sterling. There's the ball to Collins. Collins comes away and also makes valuable ground. That's Hay. These tackles early in the game with the night sun as hot as it is, it's going to be very difficult. Referee John Connor wasn't happy with Warrington offside to at least 3 of them. Andy Hay making his debut tonight, £70,000 signing. Gestin wants to play for touch with a tap and a set of 6, and Warrington going to have to be on the guard. 30 metres out, charge 3 from McDermott. Bravely tackled there by Roper and Wingfield. Collins. Well, this is Harris again, involved in every move that they have, Harris. Hilaire. He's tackled by Tupu. Collins. Sheridan. Back inside. That was Andy Hay. That was Terry Newton. Harris. Some of these clever, closely worked moves. That's Hassan. Seemed to brush away a tackle by Wingfield there. Hassan plays the ball. Harris again. Farrell, they want to keep the ball alive. They know there's points, valuable points, a global points difference at the end, come the end of the season. This is Sterling. Yes, he's done it. He's equalled the Super League try-scoring record of 9 consecutive games of tries being scored. A very hot John Connolly. Looks at his touch judges, in fact. He's going over to see his other touch judge. Then awarded it. Forward pass. Scrum down. Sterling thought he had the record. I thought he had the record, and everybody who's paid their admission money tonight at Headingley thought he had. The touch judge on this near side, saving Warrington on that occasion by bravely bringing John Connolly over, informing him what had happened. John, I'm sure when he retires, will go down in history as the Leeds supporters' favourite ever referee. They still remember an incident at Halifax a couple of years ago. That's Forster coming away with the ball. Paul Hume. Salah didn't like that particular challenge by Hume. Clock to it was as well. George Mann is actually on loan from Leeds at the moment, George. Andy Hay making a tackle and warming himself to his new supporters. Tupu to Hume. Wrapped up by Harris and Newton. Pointers starting to make slight inroads, not a lot. A long way to go. Vergana decides to kick for touch. Worked on that occasion. Fans don't like it. John doing exactly what he told me in the pub on Wednesday night, because I said to him, how do you deal with people who backchat to you these days, John? He said, it's 2 shut-ups, a yellow card and then a red one. Somebody's just been given the first shut-up card. For the shut-up call. To Tupu and Forster. Rhinos. Andy Hay, very much involved on his debut. He's obviously trained hard during the week. They made the decision to actually give him his debut yesterday. Dean Bell, Collins, well tackled there by Warren Stevens. Belies his years, only 18 years of age, Stevens. Foul. Tackle on Sheridan. Collins again to play the ball. This is Farrell. Brave second row forward. Good build for a rugby league player, and offloads the ball beautifully whilst three Warrington players were looking at it. Hassan. Came very high there by John Roper, looking to get away with that. Cummins, one of the try scorers. Harris again. This is the ball to Blackmore. Sadly on that occasion for Leeds Rhinos it was wasted. Great future ahead of him in the game. Both of them can be rested at some stage during the season if some of the full-timers throws come back. Penny lost the ball on that occasion. He's flat out on the pitch. This is Sterling again. He's trying to make amends for the fact why he wasn't given a try on the last occasion. Penny's still down. Back on his feet, getting back into position, makes his tackle there with Warren Stevens. Referee has seen something. Wasn't happy with the tackle that Lee Penny put in. So Harris will go for the 2 points, I would think, on this occasion. Well, saying that, the rate that Leeds Rhinos are scoring, one couldn't blame them really for playing out another set of 6. The fans want him to run it. Right in front of the posts. Warrington should really go 14 points to down. 14 points to nil down on this kick from Harris. 3 out of 3 on the night. 14-0 for the Leeds Rhinos. And a restart to come. So all sorts of kickoffs this season. You might well have seen on television the other week the kickoff that Wigan made. And Jason Robertson collected the kickoff. The Wigan Warriors scored a try. Harris was putting in a little grubber kick on that occasion because he wanted to play out another set of 6 and get more points against his old teammates. Gary Chambers. Broken thumb still not completely healed. Brave enough to want to play on. Warren Stevens tackled out very well indeed. George Mann is eager to impress against his old teammates. The Garner offloads. That's Willie Swan on the field as an early substitute for the Wolves. Lee Breer's cutting through. Shelford cleverly kicks through. The race is on. The ball goes there. Garner was there, Forster were there. Well, on that particular occasion, I appreciate it was a kick through from Shelford that went dead. That's probably Warrington's best move of the game so far. Harris. Lee Penny tackles him. Sheridan linking up. Everywhere Harris is, Sheridan is far behind. Masella bravely shaves off a couple of tackles, brought to earth by Willie Swan and Warren Stevens. I think Swan has come on as a substitute for Highton. It looks like he's playing as hooker as well, because both half backs are still on as well. This is Collins. Blackmore. Harris again. Never-ending pressure for the Warrington Wolves at the moment. Clever little kick through by... Now that will, I would think, will possibly be one for the video referee. In fact, I'm sure it is. It was a kick through. Did Cummings get there in time? From Sheridan's kick through. Mr. Connolly. The fans think it is. They've seen the first rerun. You're looking at John Connolly. His brother Rob had 6 calls last week to call a video referee, and on one occasion the video referee actually got it wrong. That try, if it is freeze framed down or slowed down, was very, very close to the dead ball line. But it only took 2 views by the video referee before he decided it was 4 points. Kicks it. On that occasion it's not true, so it's 3 out of 4 for Yeston. He's got 6 of the Rhinos' 18 points on the board. Willie Swan back in the team tonight. Played part of the game last night, which the Alliance team lost at Warrington. We're given an early start tonight. Mark Forster's experience told him to trap the ball first, gather it, and it would stop spinning. Thank you, referee, says Mark Forster. A bit too quick there for John Connolly. He is wanting to get on with the game. It's a second chance to make a few more yards. Usually does. Willie Swan on the play of the ball. Tupu. Came with an awesome reputation from New Zealand to Tupu. On a couple of occasions he's shown it. Just goes to show that Super League referees miss absolutely nothing these days. Stevens grounded unceremoniously and actually knocked on as he was grounded, lost control of the ball with his elbows hit the floor. Any mistake that the referee makes today is magnified out of all proportions by all forms of the media. Unfortunately, the referees have to have eyes in the back of their heads. This is Leeds, wanting to get even more points on that board. Harris to McDermott. Harris again. Everywhere tonight, McDermott loses control. Tupu catches it that time, but unfortunately Shelper wasn't ready for it. The ball does go in a backward movement. There's no knock on. Paul Hume. This is Mark Forster. Willie Swan. Chambers. Warren Stevens with butterfingers on that occasion. Referee wasn't happy with the original tackle. They went for the knock on. The Leeds put in and even more pressure. Sure, no favours being given to Yeston Harris. He got a bit of a slap at the side of the head just before that scrum. Collins to Harris again. Sheridan making valuable yards. Brave little scrum half he is, keeping Holroyd out of the team. This is Farrell. Harris again. Offloads to Andy Hay. Well brought down bravely by Lee Penny. Right in front of the goal post. This is where the pressure is. McDermott slams the ball through. He scores with the ball one-handed. 22 points to 0. McDermott's second try of the night. It also gives yesterday Harris one of his straightforward kick really at goal. To come for Harris. The last try scored by Cummins for the video referee was a bit wide for him on that occasion. No problem at all. 24 points to 0. It seems an all too familiar story for the Warrington Wolves. The worst points against record in the whole of Super League. It's going from bad to worse tonight. 24 points down. Harris decides again to kick deep. Actually hits the post. Well, he does like football as well as yes, didn't Mrs. Hume? Mark Forster. Referee didn't like that. Dean Mark Forster to have knocked on. Scrum down, Leeds put in. Interesting to see the chart tonight of the actual possession in the first half and the ground advantage that Leeds Rhinos have had. Willie Swan going in on the tackle with Gary Chambers. McDermott after the hat-trick. This is Sterling. He's after equaling his Super League try-scoring record. Of course, he got one before. Sheridan to Harris again. Everything's coming through Yeskin. We could expect a player of his quality. Breers. Roper didn't take it clean the first time. Grasped it, was tackled. Tony Thornley on loan for Widnes. Willie Swan, eager to impress. Big favourite down at Wilderspool. George Mann. Tackled by Farrell. Warriors very high in the first half. That's Breers deciding to kick. We've got a bit of pressure on Sterling, if any. Forster's after him. Sterling's too quick. Breers, who put the kick in, was there to make the tackle. What a great future he has in the game. Hilaire. Roper and Hume coming in on the tackle. Everybody tackled with the momentum that Hume did. I think Warrington to be in the mess they were, but on that occasion John Connolly didn't like the tackle that Hume had made. No, they had some run-ins in the past. Tap. Salah to Collins. McDermott. There you go, a hat-trick. Collins again. Harris. On occasion it was a Leeds knock-on. That sort of does tear the pressure off the Warrington Wolves. They're putting on the scrum. What can they do with this? Vital time for anybody to score now. Warrington were to get something before half time, might give you something to build on in the second period. But if Leeds were to score now, I think the game would be over as a contest. Stevens brought down. Roper. Every time a Warrington player tries to make a move, the team spirit at Leeds is so good. There's 4 players around you. This is Garitis. Breers. Shelford. Paul Hughes will never give up. They play all night. Third changeover on the 6th tackle. I've never seen that happen in Super League this season anyway. Francis Cummins, Rory Stevens felt that as he went in to tackle him. Farrell. Tackled well there by Garitis, playing in the academy a few weeks ago. Now playing full blazing Super League with the Australians to come next week. Dermot. Tackle there by John Roper, rolled on his back. Collins. Gets a touch on the 5th tackle. Warrington put in. Once again they try to build. This one has only been back in full training as a Warrington player for 3 days. He played for 3 months. He's been keeping himself fit. That's how long he's going to last tonight, especially in this heat. Lee Penny. And that was possibly by Richie Blackmore. Looking at it, the way that Lee Penny fell was quite fortunate for him, because he could have actually been penalised for a spear tackle. Forster to Swan. Warrington trying to up the tempo. Stevens. To Tupu. Knock on by a Leeds player, Blackmore. Scum down, put in. This is better stuff on Warrington. They're actually making ground. Always amazes me, John, when a scrum starts to form, he's always the man in the middle. One of these days he'll make a decision and the whole scrum will close on him, I'm sure. Breers. Thornley. Played in the early 90s, released him with this a couple of years ago, and he's come back. Held Warrington's injury plight. Nearing the end of his loan spell though. Shelford. Good to Tupu. Big awkward, gangling 6-footers to Tupu. Really played to his full potential from videos I've seen of him. This is Forster. He has to get up and play it. The Swan. Breers. This is better for Warrington. Shelford. Roper. There's a bit of fight out there, alas, on the Warrington Wolves. Keep it going. What about Donald van der Velde saying? The chip through from Shelford on that occasion. It was very well read indeed by the debutant Andy Hay. So he's fast warmed himself to the Leeds fans. Bravely dived in there to get the ball. It's a Leeds penalty. Harris kicks for touch. Must be nearing half time. Wingfield. Davis again trying to play the ball before actually gets up, got away with it on that occasion. Wayne Collins runs straight into a brick wall. Better known locally is Lee Penny. Harris again. Those spinning passes he puts out. Sterling takes the ball on the second occasion. Trying to weave his way through. Basically to the halfway line. Hilaire. Breaks the tackle of Stevens and Penny. Flattened on the second occasion by George Mann, who aids Penny again. I think that's just about completed Tony Tutupu's nightmare first half. Giving them another set of 6, 20 metres out. He created the first try for the Leeds Rhinos. Well, can set them up with another one. Newton held up. Penalty for the, says referee. John Conley for a high tackle. Running the set of 6. That will delight the spectators. Harris to Sheridan. Throws it out wide to Farrell. He's worked hard and earned a try in the first half, really, is Farrell. McDermott charging through. Sheer power. To 4 players, the Warrington Wolves. Harris. Blackmore. Bravely grounded in his own end zone by Nigel McGowan. It'll be a drop out between the four. Very brave to do it. The players are loath to do it these days because it gives a set of 6. Half-time score, 24 points to 0. Warrington played the best rugby in the last 5 minutes of the half. They're recapping 2 tries for Barry McDermott, 2 tries for Francis Cummings, and 4 goals from 5 attempts. The one Yeston Harris, I say, eager to impress the directors of Warrington Rugby League Club. I know one or two Warrington fans who were spotted before the game weren't relishing in taking the field tonight. We'll join you again in the second half. Enjoy your brew. Welcome back to the second half. The Leeds Rhinos taking the field. The applause of the fans. 24 points to 0 was the first half score. We've probably got one of the smallest plus points differences in Super League at the moment. The Leeds Rhinos have been looking to build on it. Just listening to the Masters at half-time. Reference Mr. Steve-O and Sean McRae. I must agree with him. I thought Wayne Collins did have a good first half. He stood there with Yestin Harris. Apparently, he's not very much good as a golfer. Said Sean McRae, because he originates from the Canberra area of Australia. This Leeds side are going to go to Australia brimming with confidence if they carry on maintain the standards in the second half. Warrington up against it, having Pullers playing the sets of 6, having Pullers doing the tackling. 3 very hard Australian games to come, and also looking at Super League survival as well. This is Harris to kick off. Reyes catches it on the full. It's George Mann's job to come out. 3-man tackle going in there. Farrell, Collins and McDermott. Mark Forster. Tackle by Masala. This is Chambers. Back to Stevens. Dangerous tackle. Get away with it on that occasion. Good tackle by Hassan on Willie Swan there. Thornley. Sit through. Paul Hume. Decides to kick. Away comes St. Hilaire with the ball. Trooper, I said, a nightmare first half. Came with I said in the first half, he came with an awesome reputation from the Auckland Warriors. And I think possibly Darryl van der Velde may well have had a word with him at half-time. Because looks pretty fired up, Mr. Tupu. McDermott. Uritis, bravely making the tackle with George Mann. Lee Breers never gives up trying. It's Newton not particularly happy there with the tackle. Harris puts in the bomb. Corley's job to clear the danger. Don't stand there and look at it all night. He's waiting for a decision off one of the officials. Good tackle on Stevens by Marcelo. Very brave one. It hurt Stevens, that one. He's going to need treatment. Got the full brunt of that one. That's the last thing that Warrington want, with having absolutely no players at all to begin his replacements. George Mann. Billy Swallow to play the ball. Breers. Straight over the head of Sterling. First bounce off his head into touch. The Leeds put in. John Collins looking a bit worse for wears with the sun as well. Stevens didn't get to his feet. Made a scrum away from the Leeds Rhinos. Magana and Penny. Masala. Penny having sorted him out. Was another occasion, sillily decides to have a second goal and gives a penalty away. If we now is wanting to get on with it. To go ahead off John Connor, kicks it up. Absolutely stupid these days. Referees are told to tighten up. McDermott offloads brilliantly to Hilaire. Hilaire jinks his way through. Nobody there to make a tackle for Warrington. Mark Forster eventually makes a tackle on his own. Uganda coming in on the death. Blackmore. To Harris. Taken on by debutant Hay. Stevens, Penny and Swan were there for that tackle. Harris again. Garner. Forster on Sterling. Harris again. Clever piece of work here by Lloyd Rhinos. This is McDermott. And he sets up Hilaire. It's a try straight between the posts. So often that happens with the Warrington Wolves. Concede tries between the goal posts. So they're just giving 4 points away, they're actually giving 6 away. McDermott made that. £28 points to 0. Harris Sadza 2, 30 points to 0. Looking back really with the Warrington Wolves this year, the wheels started to fall off the last weekend of April when they were heavily beaten at St Helens by 60 points to 16. Before then they won 3 from 4 games. And since then it's been a downward spiral. Harris decides to kick deep again. Warrington have just no answer for him tonight. Him or Wayne Collins. Lee Penny. Yes, it was a high tackle. Rhinos. It's make a lot of ground with his penalties, Breers. Very, very strong boot on him. It's in both sides of Super League this year. Tough baptism for Lee. Played so well for St Helens early season in the cup run and at the start of Super League whilst Goulding was banned. And when Goulding came back, he joined Warrington Wolves. Rears. Offloaded by Hughes. Shelford. This is Roper. Good tackle there by Hassan, but good ground made by John Roper on that occasion. This is Thornley. Too many one-man missions though by Warrington Wolves. Roper tried it alone, then Thornley tried it alone. Breeze puts the big high kick in. Mark Horsley has had 3 attempts at tackling him. Drags him back on every occasion. Sterling found out the rough and tumble Super League then on that occasion. Warrington spirited tacklers at the moment. We've got to be able to continue it. That's Harris. Tackled by George Mann. He won't remember him as a Warrington teammate. He wasn't there. Blackmore looking back to the Sheridan, looking for the offload. Finds Blackmore, and this is Hay on his debut. Looking for support. He's seen off Lee Penny, thought he had. Lee Penny cleverly got in there. The tackle Mark Forster colliding with Sterling. Harris for those dangerous kicks. Said how long his legs are going to last. Hasn't played competitively for 3 months until last night. Blair's frustrated on that occasion, but he's not on. I think he's got a lot of running to do yet. Right on the still comes Needham. The Sam push back. Nobody is able to tackle him. Best game he's had since he's been here on loan for the Warrington Wolves. Leeds' work rate on the tackles is absolutely phenomenal. Every time the Warrington player gets it, he's got no space to work in at all. There's no room for an offload, and they're just shutting them down on every occasion. Warren Stevens. This is Tatupu, the long legs of Tatupu. He has to go on his own. One of the Warrington players is taken out there. Forster. The long to Vagana. There's a try. It's like a Youngeritis. Shoulder-itis. Warrington might not win the game tonight. Yet another Warrington star in the making. At least Warrington haven't been nilled in this game. 30 points to 4. Tatupu, it must be said, I did criticise him in the first half for giving one try away. And this is Lee Breers. The Leeds fans don't like it. They wanted more points on the board. They appreciate Warrington's injury problem and the weakness at the moment. Breers kicks it. No problem at all for Lee. 30 points to 6. I'll say it may well be out of Warrington's grasp to get points on the board. Psychological. Now then, it's up to Warrington. Let's see what they're made of here with Lee Brees' kick. He's going to kick deep, and how fast are they going to get up there to make the first tackle? Not as quick as Leeds were, but Swan. Right, just making the tackle. He's everywhere in this game. Good tackle there by George Mellon to Tatupu. Tatupu wrestles him to the ground. Stevens completely missing his tackle, so did Swan. Valuable yards are gained, not for the first occasion in this game. Warrington desperate to make a substitution on the far side. This is Terry Newton in the meantime, going to wait for breaking play. Wright is making the tackle again. He's grown in stature in the last 2 minutes. Harris, nobody wants to tackle him. Or can nobody tackle him? This is Holroyd. Newton offloads the ball. Paul Hume dives on it. So that's mine. We're going to play a set of 6 out, hopefully. Thornley. Forster wants to get up and play it. Morley's not so keen. John Roper. Had a couple of good runs in this game, John. How much better since Chambers back on as a Warrington substitute. Willie Swan. This is John Roper. Covered all the way around. His ex-teammate Yeston Alice was there to make sure he didn't go any further. Warrington decide on the 5th to kick the touch. Scrum down and the Leeds put in. Shared in the second half, 6 points apiece. It's a very similar second half so far. The first 15 minutes to what Warrington played against Bradford Bulls. We lost the second half 16-14, but were 22 down at half time. Blackmore. Nobody seems is capable of tackling him. In fact, there's numerous decisions being made there, some from the bench, some from the touch judge, some from the players, and then John Connolly, who's got the right of reply, gives a penalty to the Leeds Rhinos. Matthew, tackled there well by Vergara and Chambers. Vergara made the first tackle on him. Masala. He's worked hard, and so is this guy, Collins. Harris again. To Farrell. Morley. Was that ball played correctly? I don't think it was. The referee decided that Warrington put the boot in and didn't let him play it properly. Wayne Collins says, are we running it or are we playing it? Or are we kicking it? We've got instructions, we're going for it. It's Matthew. Fresh pair of legs. Collins. Well, that could be interesting, is it? One for the video referee. In fact, he's given the try, they need a referee. To be honest, Farrell to me, to quote some of his language, the most valuable player. He works his socks off in defence, also works his socks off and got his just deserved say by scoring a Leeds Rhinos try. 34 points to 6. Harris has only really been tested on one kick tonight, wide on the left in the first half. He missed on that occasion. Should make it 6-7 with this. No problem at all, 6-7. Forster comes away with the ball from the kick-off. After Tupin throws it high, and a silly high pass to Lee Penny there. Put him under pressure before he actually received the ball. Stevens, that was Chambers. No crack. Leeds know John's capabilities and are lapping him up as soon as he gets the ball. He's getting no room to work in at all. Vagana quickly moves the ball inside to Tutupu. Tutupu, in my mind, is an attacking forward. His defence has been suspect for most of the season. Willie Swan. Sterling gets the easiest of kick-ups there. Off goes Sterling after that record. Pull back there by Vagana. A well tackle, a one-man tackle. And some of his forwards, Vagana, should be watching that on that occasion. That was a one-to-one tackle. He's in again on the tackle. Holloy to Morley. Well, when you kind of play like Morley's capability, sat on the bench and bring him on for the second half. Is Farrell. He's grown with his try as well. Lee Penny. A bit of a fracas with Farrell. Thankfully it's all over. Matthews. Going to make ground. Touches the ball one arm. Harris again. Leeds trying all sorts of manoeuvres. There's Holloyd with a try. Was very, very poor defending. 40 points to 6 on the board. A whole lot of individual efforts. Kick through. Competition for places at Leeds is tremendous these days. With players of the capabilities of Matthew, Holloyd and Morley on the bench. They all want to get into part of the action. Holloyd taking over kicking duty from Yassin Harris, who's been substituted. Obviously with Monday's tool in mind. Left-footed round the corner kicker. Doesn't approve his own try. But I don't think it'll matter in the final counting tonight. 40 points to 6. Just over halfway gone in the second half. The Warrington now playing for the pride of the club and the supporters who've made the trek over here on this lovely sunny evening. Breers takes it, passes to Forster. I thought that was a job to come out of the end zone for the forwards. Not on this occasion, it was Forster's job. This is George Mann. Signed by John Dorrihan on loan on the 20th of January to cover for Dallas Mead's injury and also Mark Hilton's. Chambers. Shoulderitis, the scorer. Warrington's only try. And he wants more. Willie Swan. Vagana. Complete hash there. Only dropping the ball. Is Sterling on his record? Has he got it? Yes, he has. I think on that occasion he has got the record, or equalled the Super League record. 9 consecutive games with a try. And Sterling wanted that record very, very badly indeed. Great try in the corner. 9 consecutive games takes a lot of doing. Obviously a fan's favourite, as you can see with the warm applause he's receiving. Hollow round the corner from the touchline. Long, high enough. Nope, gone from 2 in a matter of 2 minutes ago. Always since he took kicking duties over. Harrison's back on. Obviously giving Graham Holroyd a bit of kicking practice before they go to Australia. Harris kicks deep. Penny unceremoniously dumped on the floor there on that tackle. Not fully match fit yet, Lee, must be said in his defence. Paul Hume. Gary Chambers. Plays the ball. Rhinos. A low ball there. Dreadful handling. George Mann on that occasion. Passes being thrown to the Warrington players, creating these handling errors, are absolutely awful. Trying to miss the man out, sending long passes out. Harris on the other side of the coin for the Leeds point of view. So wonderful passes in, all have been collected, hardly any handling errors. Warrington handling errors by the sackful. That's Penny and Vagana. Making the tackle on Francis Cummins. He's been quiet. He may well be due to score another try. 25 minutes gone in the second half. Harris. Holroyd. Morley. Tackled by Chambers. Andy Hay. He'll sleep tonight after his debut. Brian McDermott. Harris again, what's he going to do next? Look at this. I think Harris felt the full force of George Mann going in a bit too hard on him on that occasion. Kept on the ball perhaps a bit too long. Scrum down, Warrington put in. Away from the scrum comes Paul Hume. Not a lot of pace for 31-year-old Paul, but he'll keep fighting all night long. Never knows when he's beaten. Mark Forster. It's George Mann, making very few yards at all at the moment, Warrington Wolves. On occasion, Sean Garitis tackled himself, slipping on the turf. Lovely field here at Headingley. Credit to the groundsman on the fifth tackle. Vagana kicks for touch. It's a good kick as well. Players feeling obviously the effects of the heat, but what they're going to be like in the next week, Leeds, especially down in Australia, if this weather continues in the United Kingdom, the Warrington players when they're playing the Cronulla Sharks. Morley to Collins to Matthew. Hassan, tackled by Garitis. It's Collins. Scrum down, says referee. Breeze. Hume coming there from the base of the scrum of the ball. Dear me. Wingfield back on as a substitute. Holroyd, from the base of the scrum comes Morley. Clever tactic that used by a lot of teams these days. Scrum half feeds and for speed. Away comes the loose forward with the ball. Hassan, tackled by Tutupu and Penny. Harris. McDermott, nobody at all can touch him. That would have been a brilliant move for Leeds Rhinos if it had worked. Unfortunately, Fowler lost the plot, lost the ball as well. Warrington are back in possession. This is Chambers. Forster. Well tackled there by Morley. The Swallows acting half-back. George Mann. Willie Swan. Bit of a way through, must be tired by now, Willie. Good, clever move it inside there. And lucky on Tony Thornley. Forster. The old stager in the team. Plays the ball to Swan. To Breers. Magana. To Breers again. Nobody's ready for it. Wingfield was very fortunate to get away with that. I'd love to see that one freeze frame. Breers again. Tries a clever little kick through. Doesn't work. Is Magana in? Referee Connolly wants to have a look at that on the big screen. And he's passing judgment over to the video referee. I agree totally with the video referee. If you've got him at the ground, you've got to use him. The fans now are just looking at it on the big screen, as is John Connolly. Rihanna touches down sweetly enough, looking at it from another angle. Because when Breer's kick went in, on the player, got the rebound and Rihanna touches down. This one's taking an edge. The video referee wants to be right. Was criticised last week at London Broncos for getting one wrong. Here comes the decision, and it is a try. So Magana scores his 18th try of the season. 44 points to 10. It's all cosmetic now at this part of the game. It will be described in the press tomorrow, no doubt, as a consolation try, and probably that all it is. 18 tries in a team that's been playing as badly as Warrington have recently. Now the problems that Warrington have had with injuries is a credit to the man. Breers kicked his first one. He kicks his second one. 2 from 2 for Lee Breers. 44-12. With the kick-off to come. This is Breers. It's kicked off. Kicks left and deep. Taken quite easily by the Rhinos. This is Hay. Impressive debut, as I said to him tonight. Tired of it in the second half. Kurt Collins, real workhorse for the Leeds Rhinos. Powell didn't get that one. Wasn't happy with it. Slams the ball into the turf. Scrum down. Warrington's put in. George Man can still afford a smile with referee John Connolly as the cool of the night drifts in. This is Garitis looking to try and feed Paul Wingfield. Wingfield knocks on. I'd love to see the handling error count at the end of this game. Turn up for an error in the first half, Paul Wingfield. Come back on. Smart force, I said, the old stager. veteran in the camp, fighting till the end. This is Matthew, tackled by Gary Chambers. Chris Heighton in there as well. McDermott, Tutuku bounces off him, and McDermott, look at the speed on him. This is Yestin Harris. This is basically that is the icing on the cake. Yestin Harris, McDermott opened it up, and Harris raced in for a try. Last time I saw Yestin score like that, it was also London Broncos stuff. Warrington wire as they were last season. Scores a try. He wants to try and convert his own try. He loves it down here at Headingley. Kicks it. That's 50 on the board. 50 points to 12. Forster, tackled by Collins and Farrell. Lee Penny. Should have think with Warrington next week. We have the likes of Ettinghausen, Nikau, and all the big Australian forwards playing against them for the Cronulla Sharks. Tupu. Knock on, says the referee. That is the end of the game. 50 points to 12 for the Leeds Rhinos in the game. And one man who will remember it for a long time is one Yestin Harris. 7 goals, 1 try, 18 points is tally tonight. All the players warmly shake hands with one another after the final whistle. The Warrington players trudge off another defeat with the Oldham Bears, who won tonight against Castleford. Warrington slide one more place down the table because of the points difference. Something like 470 points conceded this season. And we thought it had bottomed on Monday against the Sheffield Eagles. Leeds Rhinos go on. The only team, I think, that can stop the Bradford Bulls this season. They've got to play them twice. And on form like tonight,